just a lot of animals in general. Like I briefly told you the other day about like the whole killer whale thing in Spain. I know probably not too many, if any of our viewers know this, but my wife actually sent this to me. I watched the documentary Blackfish. It's I think it was from like 2000 or something. It's really old. But it's basically a documentary it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
So I already told you, but anyone else that's listening, I definitely worth the I think like hour and a half to watch it. It's a documentary on killer whales in captivity at SeaWorld and like just how they're how poorly they're taken care of and them
Yeah.
how smart they are and how they like strategically planned attacks um the trainers and things like that. So she sent me the story because she knew like it just really made me so fascinated with killer whales because they're brilliant animals to the point where humans don't even fully understand them and how they communicate and things like that.
Yeah.
But I guess right now there's an issue off the coast of Spain, somewhere where there's a highly populated killer whale area that there's been like a lot of fishing and stuff going on, and the killer whales have turned to like revenge mode and have been orchestrating these like high level attacks on boats. And they're but what's fascinating about it is if you Google it, you can find there's a bunch of different articles on it. But this one it goes in detail how they specifically go after the rudders of the boat because they know that'll disable the boat. And there's been a couple of these attacks that they've been orchestrated. They're synchronized with each other. They're communicating. There's like a person
Yeah.
in this interview explains like hearing them communicate, like you could totally tell that they're telling each other what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and it's like ear piercing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're
And then like
massive animals
there,
too.
yeah, and there's a couple boats that the attacks lasted. One was like 45 minutes. One was just over an hour. They destroyed the rudders of the boat. One, they totally destroyed the engine of the boat. And it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they could totally capsize these things if they wanted to,
yeah, there
yeah?
was one of the one sections in the story is telling like they actually got a boat onto its side to like it would
Oh,
like
yeah?
inches
Damn.
from capsizing, right? But it just goes like just to go back to you like your comment you're saying like we're living in their world. It's
Yeah.
very true in a lot of scenarios, especially with ocean animals more so than I think land animals because we unfortunately have the power to really push animals out if we want to, but ocean is very different. But
Get
like
out in the ocean.
yeah,
That's for sure.
it was just really a fascinating read. 'Cause it just goes to show that these are like massive animals that are really like they're on our level of like brain capability. The only difference
Oh,
is they just don't have, the hands and things to be able to do what we do, but how they work in the water and everything, it's just really fascinating. And I just think it's just something that anyone that has any kind of interest in animals or sea animals or whatever, if you do it like if you just do a little reading on killer whales, they're just fascinating creatures and they're truly are terrifying creatures if you especially like once you watch
yeah, I mean,
Blackfish,
they can't
it's
live up to the name for sure as a
oh
killer
yeah,
whale. They
absolutely,
certainly live up to the
absolutely.
name, but they can also be they're not as terrifying as sharks potentially, like, sharks are just aggressive all the time
Yeah,
versus these have been able to be, let's say, like, at SeaWorld and letting people get near them and things like that, so they're
yeah,
smart enough to understand that
yeah.
and have that relationship,
I
but they're
think
also smart enough to understand that that's not a natural relationship for them, and I don't think that they're valuing that one any longer, you know?
yeah, and I think that's what I love about them, and that's what I think makes them such a deadly animal is the fact that they understand that, and they really
Yeah.
do, and like the science is out there that's proven it, with how they
Like, think
react,
about
how
it,
they.
they come up to somebody at, like, San Diego SeaWorld and be like they're smiling, but they're like, "I have the ability to kill you
Oh
right
yeah,
now."
yeah, and
You
and
know?
that's like if you really watch that documentary, like the way they explain it and everything, it's like they wait and wait. Like they're kept in like these little like these are massive animals that they travel hundreds of miles and they
a
keep
day.
them in these little honestly, like they're like the size of like the big dumpsters, you know? Like
Yeah.
one whale, like they can't do anything, no movement overnight. It's like they they uh they just like build up that aggression. But it's
Yeah,
like
just
the patience they have, like if you watch Blackfish, they do such a good job of explaining it and everything, but like they wait for the perfect opportunity when they know they can fuck this thing up, you know, and they've manhandled a few trainers, and then like the build up to it, which is not like a spoiler, but is this one certain whale that was from one kind of hokey little SeaWorld wannabe ended up, you know, brutalizing a trainer, got shipped to SeaWorld, brutalized a trainer, and then got shipped to like another SeaWorld and ended up actually killing a trainer. Like it had a track history of being
yeah,
this
yeah.
like, but it's crazy, like, cause it's like everyone to the public eye built it up as like this super aggressive whale, but like when you get the facts from the actual trainers that trained them, like it's just a whale that had like nowhere, they never gave it the right room, and it's just trying to
Yeah.
like get the fuck out, you know?
Trying to tell you that it doesn't wanna be there is
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
you know? It's
So
like, should've
just
just returned it to the wild instead of putting it into another tank. It's like a
yeah.
different tank isn't gonna make a difference, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you, the documentary, it's gut wrenching. It's really it's a tough pill to swallow when you see like a lot of it. It's like I even got like a little choked up watching something because it's just like it's really like legit animal cruelty.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
to the point where
Yeah, it is.
it's kind of messed up. But when you get to that end, you're kind of like there's that little part inside of you. It's like get that motherfucker, you know. But at the same time, you're like it's hard because it's totally like the business of SeaWorld, like the trainers, like you can tell like it's legit through the documentary. Like they truly cared for the animals.
Mhm.
They're just dumb, and they even admitted they're just like they just weren't knowledgeable. They ate the information that the owners of SeaWorld fed them, the bullshit on like, oh, they're, whatever, like they'd feed them like, oh, they're really not smart or and there's some stuff you got to watch. It's been a while since I watched it, but it's like, the people pocketing all the money are feeding lies, and it's like the trainers are like these young kids that they're trained up. They just want to be involved with the animals, and they have a
Right.
love. It's not like the trainers, it's just the trainers kind of being young and dumb and not knowing the
You
real
gotta
facts
educate
behind
people.
the animals.
Yeah.
So like the one trainer that ended up dying was actually like apparently like an absolutely amazing person, just wrong place, wrong time kind of situation.
Yeah, you know, that animal that day was you were did not make it happy, I bet. So,
Yeah, but
it is.
yeah, just crazy that there are animals. Like we live in a world where we have computers in our pockets, and we
Yeah.
build buildings that are 100 stories tall, and but there's still these animals that you come face to face with it and you're dead.
Yeah,
There's
we
nothing you can
can
do.
we're very smart and we think we have the answers to a lot of things, but there's still a lot of things we're never gonna have answers to, is
Yeah,
what it comes down to, and you're not gonna be able to predict what other living things are gonna do, no matter how much you study them or learn them or whatever. It's like they have a mind of their own,
yeah,
and you need to be careful, you know?
yep,
Another example, like, even around here, a small simple to, like, the mountain lions, like, deer, I feel like, are so domesticated nowadays that, like, them walking like, they were here before us, you know, and then now we've got, city streets and all that stuff and through their old stomping grounds, right? And they walk down the middle of the street out here,
yeah,
and, like, it's no big deal, like, on the sidewalk, they just turn and look at you know what I mean? It's like, I got out of my truck one time with a pizza and, like, I swear to God, one turned and followed me, like, to the driveway. Like, I'm like, "Dude," like, it kind of freaking me out for a
yeah,
second, it's almost like he wanted to bite, but it's like they're almost getting domesticated to the point where it's like, I don't know if the mountain lions are say, like, maybe we are having more sightings because they're seeing more people and they're being more curious?
yeah,
I don't know, you know?
yeah.
But
It's
then again,
funny.
it's like, is it just more cameras or is there actual more curiosity? Maybe it's both. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's funny you say that because I saw a video on Instagram the other day. I think it was posted by it was either Bleacher Report or ESPN, but it was these people golfing, and they were like on the
No,
green, and a deer just like walked up out of nowhere and like was standing over the hole, and like
yeah.
like literally feet from him to the point where like I think it was a girl. she putted like through the deer's legs and was like petting the deer and stuff. And I'm just like, it's like really cool, but at the same time, like you don't
Yeah.
know anything about like it had big ass antlers. It's like
Oh, and
that
deers
one
have been
buck
known
and
to,
you're
like, poke
freaking
you and stuff like that too, like yeah, it could get
yeah.
really ugly real fast with a deer,
Yeah.
you know?
It's like I was just watching it like it's just one of those videos where you're watching and you're like, this is gonna end really cute or this is gonna end really bad, you know?
Well, especially on Barstool Sports, there's no in between.
Yeah.
If there was an in between, they wouldn't put it on there. It's
Yeah.
like there gotta be one extreme or the other,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
so the video cut with them like petting the deer, grabbing the ball and like, going their separate ways. But it was just it's just one of those things you're just like, "Ooh, I don't know." One
I
fault,
know.
you touch that thing on one spot it didn't wasn't expecting and you're getting an antler through the eye socket or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's for
Just
sure, for
wild
sure.
animals are wild animals for a reason, So,
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns there.
yeah.